am I the asshole for telling my wife it is disgusting how she keeps forcing spicy food on my young son?
I mean, build them tolerance, my boy. Start them early.
When did you start eating spicy food, John?
I would say that's a little bit more like later in my adult life. I am such a picky like eater. I was such a picky eater growing up. Hell, I still am as an adult. But that's also like one thing that I'm learning about myself. I think it's because being diagnosed like, with ADHD, like I found out like there are some textures or the way like just things look. It's kind of, making my brain think a certain way. So that's probably why I was so picky growing up. But I'm trying to like open up my mind a little bit more. But I think spicy food wise, I think I really just started maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, honestly.
Okay. Similar to me then, actually.
Yeah.
As a white guy who grew up with zero spice in the household. What are you saying on this one, Sean?
I don't know. I was also a picky eater growing up, cereal and chicken nuggets nonstop, you know what I'm saying? But probably in high school when I started expanding my palate, that's probably when I started getting into spicy food and things like that.
Okay. All right.
Well, I grew up with like, every time we go to the mall, my dad would go to like one of those Japanese restaurants at the mall and get like some kind of chicken and rice, but then he'd get like 5 packets of like the chili oil and just be fucking in the food court, just buckets of sweat. And I'm just like, all right, dude, that's probably going to be me at some point. And I've
it
turned
is
into
now, yeah.
yeah. I love spicy food.
If I can make a prediction on this story, the husband is white as hell and the wife is some sort of like East Asian with a lot of like spices in their food. Maybe Indian at this point. I'm going to go with husband is white, wife is Indian.
All right. So I'm 25 male and my wife is 26 female. We have a son, 4 male, Mike. I personally cannot handle spicy food. I grew up with Southern parents and don't even really like pepper. LOL.
Jesus Christ. I knew it. I was like, yeah, she's just putting pepper on the food and it's too much. The first sentence. I should have said it. Out loud.
Oh, shit.
My wife is the opposite. She loves it, especially Asian, like Korean and Thai, which I'm normally fine with. This problem started a few weeks ago. My wife works from home and has been ordering a lot of takeout. I guess one day she ordered kimchi with her meal, and I came home to find her feeding Mike some.
Oh, that sounds so good right now.
It does sound good. I asked her about it, and she just laughed and said she wanted to start Mike's spice tolerance early. I didn't say anything, but I was a little uncomfortable.
Because she's looking at you, brother. You can't even eat fucking black pepper. So she's like, no son of mine.
She's like, half my son is you.
Bitch,
So.
I ain't gonna raise no bitch.
I didn't say anything, but I was a little uncomfortable because I was worried Mike might have been getting burned just to make his mom happy. Which in my experience, kids don't like things. They just spit it out. So
yeah.
This became a regular thing, but I at least trusted Mike to tell me or his mom if it was too much for him. Last week, I took Mike to a doctor's appointment for a checkup, so I took it as an opportunity to ask if it's okay for a young boy to eat such spicy food. The doctor looked at me really concerned and my heart dropped. He said he was way too young to be eating spicy food, and he's seen many cases of children having to go to the hospital due to issues of eating too much spicy food, and kids that young cannot digest it like adults can. He said more too, but you get the gist.
Don't Korean kids eat? I'm just assuming.
Yeah.
Isn't like kimchi like a pretty staple part of a
I would
diet?
argue the majority of the world.
I was going to say like, we live in Texas.
Any part of the world that uses spices on the regular.
Yeah. I mean, we live in Texas, which is right by Mexico. There's so many like chili covered candy that I imagine generations have eaten.
Yeah.
I feel like people in the South too, like the way they use their spices, blends, freaking Cajun food has a little bit of kick in there. Like, I think it's just you. But hey, I can understand their concern. That was from a medical professional, so I give them that.
Right.
The kid is how old? 5?
5.
That's old enough. That's old. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, but
To me, I'd be worried about what like he's like kimchi, right? Is not that crazy of a spice.
No.
You know what I mean? And so it's
Although
like
Thai hot is crazy for a 5-year-old.
But
Thai chilies are
but maybe
hot.
she's not giving him that. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like, you know, a milder Thai food. So I'd be worried that he's like explaining this like because his level is pepper. You know what I mean? So anything above that, he's like, yeah, this really spicy food, you know, like medium salsa. It's like his level.
And I bet you when he talked to this doctor, he was like, didn't explain what was being fed, just being like, yeah, my wife feeds him really spicy food. And it's kimchi. It's just fucking
and the
kimchi.
doctor's
Brother,
like,
your level of spicy is ketchup.
The doctor's mind's going to like ghost pepper. And he's like, no, like,
please God, don't do that.
Yeah. I was panicked, and when I went home, I told my wife no more spicy food and everything the doctor had told me. Instead of taking my concerns seriously, she just rolled her eyes and said the doctor was being overdramatic, and she had been eating spicy food as soon as she was old enough to chew food, so that must mean it's fine. I said I didn't care what her parents did. We were going to be better and make sure Mike doesn't get sick. She then started accusing me and the doctor of being racist, and that's when I blew up.
Racist people get so mad, so defensive.
Snowflakes. That's what I call them.
Can't handle pepper flakes too.
Yeah, true. I said I couldn't give a damn if she loves spicy food, but it was disgusting that she would risk Mike's health like that just because she likes it. She yelled that I must be jealous that Mike can handle spicy foods better at 5 than I can at my grown age. This set me off, and I told her I am going to spend the weekend with my parents, and Mike was coming with me too to see his grandparents. She told me to have fun, and I packed Mike and I's things. And while we were still there, I told him not to take any more spicy food from mom until I confirmed it's safe for him to eat. I plan on asking some other subreddits if it's okay, so I can show her it's not safe. Things have been
just
awkward.
Google. This guy could just Google it, get second opinions.
Yeah. Well, Google will reaffirm anything if you wanted to.
I guess that's true.
But things have been awkward as of now. Am I the asshole?
All right. Hot take for me.
Whoa.
I think nobody sucks in this situation. Just because I could see the valid concern from the husband, right? Because that was his experience. That's what he knows. And then he went to a professional. Granted, he may not have explained it the way it's supposed to be explained correctly, but the medical advice he got was like, hey, that might not be good for a kid, right? So that's the information that he gave, and that was the information he got. So, of course, like at the end of the day, the concern was for the kid. Nothing else, nothing more. As far as the wife, also the way she say like, hey, I've been eating spicy food my whole life. I've been okay. That's all she knows too. So she's like, hey, maybe I'll expose the kid a certain way, so maybe they'll build tolerance. I think it's just they don't know how to communicate with each other at this point, and like the kid is kind of just stuck in the middle. So I'm going no one sucks here. I think they're just trying to set up a kid in a certain way.
Yeah. That's definitely a reasonable take. I don't think it's too hot of a take. I agree.
Well, if it is, the husband can't handle it.
Yeah. It's spicy enough that he wouldn't be able to handle it, John.
But I feel like he could, I don't know, he did get the doctor's opinion. And, we're just assuming he didn't give a good explanation. Mm-hmm. Who knows, So, like John said, nobody does really suck. But for him to like freak out and take Mike somewhere else, like do some research a little bit. I mean, I'm sure, like Josh said, you can make Google say whatever you want it to say. But I mean, it's after a while, you'll get, I imagine, the right stuff, or find at least, okay, a lot of, more, find some kind of statistic. You know what I mean? Also, you'll probably you could Google kids from other cultures eating spicy food, and then it'll probably be like, okay, my doctor's also probably can't stand anything besides pepper, and is, maybe me and this doctor grew up similarly. So I don't know. It's just wild to freak out this bad. And I do have to also assume, like John predicted, that the wife is of a different color, because us colored people do love saying, you're being racist. We love it. That's so fun.
I would also just kind of like to add, I think it's kind of shitty for the wife to just dismiss how his feelings. I mean, granted, I think came on a little. I think he came on a little too hot. Again, pun intended on that one. He came on a little too hot to that situation. But like for her to just be like, whatever, like because you're a bitch and can't handle shit. I think that's a little fucked up on her end. But I don't know. I'm just saying. I just think no one sucks in this situation.
Yeah, that's true. She could have been like, all right, let's sit down and do this together. Because like if you're concerned about Mike, I mean, I've been eating it. Is there something wrong with me? You know what I mean? So like, let's look at it together instead of both just being like, well, fuck you.
I'm going
not
away.
great. Yeah, not great. So yeah, that's a good point.
All right, so I got a couple things here. So I did a quick Google search of like, are spicy foods okay for kids? I mean, I got the lowest age was like 6 months, but even this one says 2 years is fine because kids
That's
have
a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's a 5-year-old kid. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have their own agency to determine whether it's too hot for them. You know what I mean? That's like the age where it's like, oh, this is too hot. I can't handle this, and let you know.
And if it's a mixed baby, they got a mixed gut. They can handle that shit.
Exactly. And then I got to give a super big shout out to Rain Coast Vegan, who is the one who cross-posted this. Because they were in the actual post asking questions. And they asked, A, does your wife come from a culture where the food is much more seasoned? And B, you only mentioned Asian food. Would you react the same way with Italian arrabbiata sauce or buffalo wings? I probably butchered that one. But OP responded to Rain Coast Vegan and said, A, yes, she's Thai. I love her culture and her family, just not their food. And then B,
just not their food.
I would hate
salad, brother.
B, yes, I would hate Mike eating anything that could burn or hurt him in any kind of way. So for me, and this is me, a white guy, I think it's racist because he's like, he's going on like, we're gonna do better than your parents. Like, I don't care that your culture, you guys,
that's true,
have it young.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do better than that because we're better than that culture. You know what I mean? That's where it comes across.
He's
as like,
half better. We're gonna be better.
Yeah.
With that context, now, I'm gonna go. You're an asshole, my guy.
Yeah, because it really does seem like it's a racially motivated, or like with that shot at her family not being better and stuff like that. And then also to go behind her back and be like, yo, don't trust your mom, basically, to Mike at the end there. Pretty fucked up to say to a 5-year-old, It's just like you could have like a sit down and work out like, okay, if it's too hot for you, just let us know. Like, that's okay. And be very open with him and allow him to
The kid was like, yo, this shit hit.
Yeah, this shit is banging, Dad. What are you talking about? Shut your white ass up.
He's like, I love kimchi.
I think, Josh, you brought up the main point. Kids, and, me and John mentioned how picky eaters we were.
I would just throw that shit up if I didn't like it. Yep.
Eat what they don't want to eat.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I'm sure she's probably just like, hey, you want kimchi? She's not like, eat this goddamn kimchi. Like, how parents make you eat vegetables when you're, so I'm sure she's just like, you want to try kimchi? You want to try this fucking Thai dish? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Patsy, I want Thai food. Oh, Patsy, you baby. Boy, that sounds so good right now.
Yeah, you want to try some of this yellow, green, red curry, whatever curry. Some coconut.
Some tom yum.
Shit. Let's leave right now.
Damn.
Episode's over.
So racist.
In my opinion and in Reddit's opinion, they deemed asshole, the majority anyway. So
that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think so as well. And I do agree some more communication could have been better, but I just feel he's coming off, kind of in an unnecessary way and
kind of a bitch not being able to handle pepper.